Hi there, we had a major cock up with this video. I was doing it on a GoPro in the car. I had an external mic. The mic didn't work. All the sound was lost, so there's no sound. All that you can get is my voice doing the voiceover as we spin through this. I'll put it all on fast forward. I'm just going to call out the highlights. It took me about an hour to do. You'll see why it took me an hour to do. Really, you could probably do it in about 30 minutes. I hope you like the video. Have a look at some of my other videos. They're mainly about travel, some bits about falling off motorbikes. We have a few laughs as well. It's really appreciated if you like and comment and subscribe. We're going to be doing more of this. I'm going to turn the CRV into a little camper van through the winter and then take it down to Spain and get some nice days down in Spain. Cheers. With that, I hope you enjoy the video. So 2 boxes arrived a few days later. I think it was shipped from the UK because it got here within 3 days. Let's open the big one first. What's changed from the previous videos that I've seen on YouTube is that now you get the housing. On YouTube videos that I've seen for this that are a few years old, you had to reuse the housing and they gave you like a facing plate that you had to adjust there. Now you get a new housing which is model specific, so I'll offer that one up to the CRV to see whether that works. You get a bits and pieces audio visual. That looks like the GPS unit and the rear facing camera, and there's something else that's in there as well. Microphone, and then the connectors, and these are model specific. What I didn't want to do was get the head unit and then be splicing together and soldering connectors for the model for the CRV. Box 2, head unit. This looks like a Galaxy tablet, doesn't it? Which is in essence what it is. It's a Galaxy tablet, touch screen, and then on the back we've got the connectors there. There's a little fuse to made in China, 2G and 32 gigabytes with the model connectors. So hopefully all these fit into that. We will double check though. Yeah, that looks about right. Aerial goes in there. Don't know what that is. Reassuringly heavy. That feels like it is. Well, that's a cast alloy with some heat sinks there. I would have thought it knocks out a bit of heat when it's doing its stuff. Cool. Okay, let's crack on. So this is where you start. There's 2 Phillips headed screwdrivers just underneath there. You need to unscrew those, and then I used a little plastic spodger thing, and what you're doing is you're snapping out that housing unit there. It's held in by these V-shaped spring retainer clips. You need those clips off the housing. Now I thought that I might snap this out, but it's not. It's just you're just pulling it out. It's got 6, I think it's got 4 around the vent units, and it's got a couple at the top. And then the thing that's holding it in there is the wires that's going to the hazard lights. I don't do this, this isn't my job, and so I find stuff like this pretty fiddly, and it took me ages to do. If you work with electrics in cars and stuff like that, I'm sure you know how all of these little clips and stuff like that work. Anyway, it took me a long time. You need to take those vent direction things off anyway. So that's what I did. Fiddled about a little bit. Eventually got the connector clip off. And there you can see in my right hand I had the vent housing. Yep, all looked good. Offered it all up. That's really good. Now what I should have done at this point was taken the V-spring clips off the old one and put them onto that one. You'll see why. They're on there. You need to take out the actual hazard warning light button, just pops out. Keep all of that. That goes into the new one. Dead easy. All that bit's really easy. Then this big old thing comes out. This weighs a ton. Made in Japan, Remember when things used to be made in Japan? So anyway, that comes out. Weighs a bit, that does. And then again, I was fiddling about taking these connectors out, just because I've never done it before. Some of them were quite tightly stuck in, but there again, if you think about it, they've been there through hot and cold. There's pretty good reason why they take a while to come out, but anyway, eventually all comes out. There it is. That weighs a bit. Right, so then in the instructions, you get, you know, the little instructions of what bit goes where. And I just cracked on and started plugging stuff in. Now we're going to hand over to this chap in a moment, and he's going to tell you something that you need to listen to. Because what you should do is, at this point, is pause. So this is an important piece now. Don't do what I did here. What you need to do is mount the header unit to the outside of the housing unit. So things have changed since the earlier installation videos that I've seen on YouTube before, where the header unit mounted to the back of the housing. So just beware. What you want to do now in this step is get the header unit, and it just screws into the front of that housing unit, and then you plug in the cords into the back. I went through all of this, spent half an hour doing it, had to unplug it all and put the header unit onto the front. Don't do what I did. So here you can see where I've gone wrong. What I should have done was put the header unit into the front of the housing and then wide it all up. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. You're basically taking the connectors that it comes with, there's no soldering, and you're just hooking it up. It comes with 2 USB connectors that I fed through the side of the glove compartment. The GPS unit I put on top of the internal airflow unit underneath the dash. You know, this took me half an hour of messing about. There you go, switched on, all came up straight away. Super relief. Pretty quickly was playing with the radio, and then it just Bluetooth over to the phone, and before you know it, it was working just fine on the phone, and I was playing music and all that kind of thing. And then at some point I had this realization, I thought, oh Gav, you dick, now you've got to go and undo it all and put it thing right. So then I realized now on the housing unit, it had that hole there. It turns out that you can't even see that. So here what I've done is I've screwed it into the housing unit. Now, although it looks like it's in the back, it's actually in the front, okay, of this housing unit. And there, what I'm doing is taking these V-spring clips off the old housing unit. They just kind of snap off, but you need them to be able to snap it into. So you take the V-spring clips off the old one, put them on the new one. And then all this just kind of, you know, you're reconnecting it all. And then it just snaps in. Might take a little bit to make sure that you've not got any connectors, and I'm always a little bit worried that I'm going to snap one of the clips off, but it was actually just fine. There was no problems at all. I think I might have given it a bit of a crack at the end. Yeah. And you can see I put the USB cables down through the side of the glove compartment. I think I had a few goes at fitting this. Again, it fitted. There was it was only error on my side. There was nothing wrong with the unit at all. And then you put those Phillips screwdrivers in underneath, those Phillips screws in. That's it. Came up, worked perfectly Bluetooth from the start. And then what I did was I hotspotted. So it's got Wi-Fi in it. So if you were close enough to your house, then you could Wi-Fi to it and you can download whatever you wanted. I just ended up just hotspotting to my phone so that I could download updated Google Maps, and you can put Waze on it, and you know, you put on whatever you want on it. It's a Android tablet. That's all. Works fine. Works absolutely fine. So I hope you found that useful and interesting, and it'll help you fit in the header unit on your car. I was a bit nervous about it as well. I wondered whether it was going to come over from China and be the wrong kind of thing. In effect, it arrived in 2 or 3 days. Probably a UK warehouse, everything fitted, the connectors all fitted. It was a good thing, and it cost me 200 quid. I think you can spend a little bit more to get a higher spec one. Mine also came with the connectors for a rear view camera It actually came with a rear view camera that I didn't fit, and also with the connectors for steering wheel controls. Mine's not got steering wheel controls. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll take you along with the journey as we put the bed and take the seats out of the back. Should have some good fun with that, and we'll do that over the next few months so that I can take it down to Spain and do some camping down in Spain. Thanks very much for watching. See you soon. Bye.
Don't buy the t-shirt. We want the key ring as well. Please don't. That's the thing you must remember. In August or December, don't be a gift shop spender. Don't